A transphobic woman called me a pretentious twit on the train yesterday, except she didn't call me a twit. It was twit, but spelt with an A. Just remember that for the rest of the video. She didn't really say it to me, she just said it very loudly about me. I travel a lot for work and I often write my scripts on the train. And obviously sometimes people are going to read it over my shoulder, and that's okay. Yesterday I was writing the script for the latest video that I posted, and there are 2 lines from that video that I'll play now that seemed to make her very unhappy. A lot of cis women are trying to weaponise their lived experience of womanhood in order to further transphobia. And when feminists of all genders challenge them on this, they again weaponise their experience of womanhood to assert authority over what feminism is and what it should do. And I would argue that at a time where trans people's rights are under serious attack, any person of any gender is more than entitled to point out that you can't build a meaningful feminist praxis on bioessentialist bullshit. It was as I was writing those parts that I really felt the energy of the woman sitting next to me shift. I hadn't actually seen her reading my screen. Every time I looked at her, she was apparently reading her book, but she started like huffing and muttering things under her breath that I couldn't quite hear. And then she sent a text to someone using very angry thumbs, and then a minute later she was on the phone. And the phone call went a bit like this. Did you get my text? Yeah, twit. Yeah, I'm thinking of moving now anyway. She didn't make any attempt to move, by the way. All the seats were full. There was nowhere for her to move to. And I was sitting there like, is this play about me? But I wasn't 100% sure. Like, I was trying not to be too paranoid about it. I decided to close my laptop and put it away and read my book instead. But I had to ask her for my laptop charger because she was sitting by the window and so it was plugged in by her knees. And she wouldn't even look at me when she passed it to me. And in that moment, my gut response was to be like overly polite and be like, oh, thank you so much. When we got up to get off the train, she was queuing right behind me and I could just feel this really intense energy building up. And I just knew in my bones that she was gearing herself up to say something. So I was like braced for it. And then as we reached the doors and were stepping off the train, there was a man coming up the platform from a previous carriage who clearly knew her. And I believe this was the person that she'd been on the phone to because she said very loudly to him, yeah, just this pretentious twit next to me. Obviously she'd waited until we were stepping off the train because then she could say her piece and then scuttle away. But my advice is don't do this when you're stepping into a slow moving crowd on a platform because there was nowhere for them to go. I was just walking next to them. So obviously I knew that she was angry about what I wrote, which is why I assume she's transphobic. But my gut reaction was to just go, me? What did I do? The man clearly didn't want to engage and was like trying to steer her away, but they couldn't get away from me because of the crowd. So I ploughed on and I was like, do you mind telling me why you so loudly called me a pretentious I forgot to say twit that time. We haven't even spoken. All I did was ask you to hand me my charger. And I suppose I just wanted her to say something to my face. And she turned around and went, I could see what you wrote. And then they both successfully scuttled away from me. So that was really interesting. I've never actually had a total stranger do something like that to me before. And I think it's quite an acute demonstration of how poised for a fight a lot of these people are.